Greetings, loved ones. Okay, listen, before we get into today's episode, you may notice, if you're watching the video version of this podcast, that I'm in a whole new location. Okay? If you have been watching consistently for the last, 4 or 5 weeks, you'll notice that I have been frantically moving around into various different corners of my home and car to try and find the place that feels the best to podcast in, looks the best, sounds the best, whatever the fuck. And I couldn't fucking figure it out. Like, I just couldn't find my home. And then I came out here this morning because I was like, I don't know, I just feel like it. Firmly placed my microphone into the gooch of my couch, if you can't see, and sat my ass down. And you're on a box right now balancing, and I love it here. And I think this is going to be our new regular spot, right? This makes the most sense. I feel like, I don't know, I've got my laptop right here. A wealth of knowledge right at my fingertips. You see how easy that is? I can access anything I want. I can think about, research anything I want. And regardless of that, I am still going to sit here and tell you about how a plumber came to my house last week and I nearly jumped his fucking bones in the kitchen. It was crazy. I'm kidding, kind of, but like he came in and it was like a porno. Like it was like a male gaze sketched out porno. Like he came in, bent over, got underneath my sink, so like I can only see his behind, okay, popping out of my sink cupboard. And I'm in there and we're talking, whatever. He stops talking, he's focused on the sink. And then all I start to hear is like, and I'm sorry to do this on the podcast, and I'm sorry that once I do this, the soundbite will be on the internet and it'll live there forever. But like, this is what he was doing, okay? What? It was gorgeous. I did not mind. I'm not gonna lie. But it was so funny because he did it for like 10 minutes, like back to back. And I was like, oh my God. I started sending my friend voice memos. I was like, are you hearing this? I'm about to genuinely fuck this plumber. I didn't, but I thought about it, okay? He wasn't attractive, he wasn't my type. There's something to be said for that noise that I was like, ooh. And then he unblocked my sink like a real man. So that was good. Top of mind today is, because I'm filming in advance for once, today was the morning where this happened to me. I'm going to put it in so you can actually see it. Let me tell you what happened here, okay? I went to the gas station, as I frequently do. And I never go to this specific gas station. I've been there like a few times, but it's kind of hard to pull into. It's like a pain in the ass location. This time I thought, fuck it, I'm going to go to that one. I was feeling it. All right, I pull into the gas station, do my thing, go into the store to pay. And there is just this, like, specimen. There is a specimen behind the front counter. And I was like, oh my goodness gracious, okay? And I looked like shit. I was in my pajamas because I just was. And I had no makeup on and my hair was in braids. But the unfortunate thing about braids for me is right now I have tape-in extensions. And one of them is nicely placed right in the back of my head where you would part your hair. So if you see me with braids, just know that I will be covering the back of my head some way, somehow, because it looks insane. However, I was going to the gas station. I wasn't going to run into anyone. So I didn't cover the back of my head. Anyway, I get out the car, go in the gas station. Specimen behind the front desk, like I said. And I was like, oh. And I go, I'm paying, and he looks at me, and he's like, you look like that one girl. That is my least favorite thing that people ever say to me. If it's like, ooh, you look like Madeline, then I'll be like, oh, that's my name. And sometimes they'll just say like, oh, I know you. Whatever. But when it's left for debate, you look like that one girl, then that scares me. What if the one girl they're thinking of isn't me? And I'm like, oh my God, yeah, no, you probably know me from like social media, like I do TikTok. And they're like, oh no, like that's not who, sorry, wrong person. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to assume that you fucking know who I am. That shit is so embarrassing. Like, ew, no. So if you say that to me, just know I am going to pretend like I have no fucking idea what you're on about, because I can't bear it. Like, I can't do it. So he's like, you look like that one girl. And I was like, yeah, I hear that a lot. Like, I panicked, okay? And he looks at me funny, I pay, and I walk out. I get in my car, can't find my fucking keys. Spoiler alert, they're in my asshole. They always are, okay? Don't know how they get up there, but they always find their way in. So I'm like fisting myself, okay, trying to get my keys out my butthole. And he comes up to the window and he's like, you're Matt. And I was like, yeah. Because now I can admit it, okay? Because you said the magical word, which is my name. He's like, you're Mads. I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, will you come in and let me give you a hat? Because this is like my family's business and we give these hats to people. I'm not gonna lie, every time I've gone in that gas station, I have eyed up these hats. Not the one I'm wearing right now. I should be wearing it. Fuck, I don't know where it is. Oh my God, it's like right there. I can't get it. I can't get it. It's out of reach. Sorry guys, that would be fun for this episode. It's just simply impossible though, because it's right there. Anyway, he was like, this is my family's like gas station. We sell these hats. The hats are fucking cool. Like they make them in all different colors. I was like, okay. So he gets me to try on a hat in front of him, which humiliating because again, the braids. Anyway, that's the interaction. He gives me 2 hats. And then I go. And I thought nothing else of it. Then I get home and I'm like, wait, that was kind of funny. So I post a silly little TikTok. And I say, fine shit at the gas station just gave me 2 hats. And then I go about my life. I go to sleep that night. I think nothing of it. I wake up in the next morning. I check that TikTok. I read the comments. Someone says, haha, I came from the video of the gas station boy. I say, the what of who? So I go on a search. I find him. Now, he told me his name's Zane. So then I'm seeing that his TikTok name is Huss. How does a man have 3 fucking names and they're all good? Zayn and Hussein? Oh my god. I've only got 1 name and it's shit. I don't mind my name, Madeline. It's just like, Madeline? I don't know. I don't hate my name. I don't know that I've sold myself on my name though. Same way. Like, Mads is alright. You guys want something fucking crazy, actually? When I made my TikTok account, I don't know what came over me to title it Madeline, because no one ever called me Madeline. Like, I was Maddie my whole life. And then I made this TikTok account, like, years before I started posting. Like, I probably made that account in, like, 2020, and I didn't post for years after. And I just, like, had an aneurysm. I was like, oh, fuck it, I'm gonna call myself Madeline RG. Like, what a serious fucking thing to title an account. Like, I usually would just go with, like, 1 of 3 handles. iPadBaby69,000. Classic. Appendo, which was my Club Penguin username that just stuck with me throughout life, or Maddie RG, okay? Because that's my normal name. Anyway, something comes over me, I title it Madeline RG, and then I don't know at what point I put my little like username as Mads. I was like, that's more fun. I don't know, like, you know, a little bit different with a Z. Thought I was cool. I am cool. So I put the Z. And then like, I just like randomly built a fucking job out the app, and now everyone calls me Madeline or Mads, never Maddie. And I'm saying this because Mr. Sexy Zane from the gas station, he was like, your name's Madeline? Like, the people call you Madeline or Mads? And I was like, you can call me whatever you want, but people usually call me just like Madeline. And then it got me thinking, like, that's so weird. Because it's like not my name. It is my name. Now it feels like my name. But my whole life I've been Maddie with a Y, in case you were curious. Although I did periodically decide I was going to spell it with an IE as a teenager, because it felt more feminine. Actually, do you want to know the real reason I started to spell it with an IE? Because I'll tell you. Hold on. The real reason I started spelling my name with an IE, just for like, I don't know, 6 months, was I went to my best friend's house and her mum asked, like, how do you spell your name? Or something. I don't know what the context was. For some reason, I'm like explaining to her that I spell my name Maddy. She's like, that's weird. That's like the dog spelling. I said, what the fuck could you possibly mean by that sentence? She went, that's like how you spell the name if it's a dog's name, like Maddy is the dog version and then Maddie is like the human version. Now, I don't know what the fuck possessed her to say that, but I get it, because sometimes when you like are so familiar with a concept, like if you just knew a dog and its name was Maddy, and then you knew a human and her name was Maddie, and just like maybe that was from like when you were young, it gets cemented in your head as like, this is the way it is. The dog's name is with a Y. And I so have had that experience with other things. Like, also certain names to me are just dog names. Like, I know the exact emotion that she was trying to convey by being like, that's the dog spelling. However, it wasn't the dog spelling, because that's actually how I was humanly spelling my actual name. So that threw me through a loop. And I was like, well, fuck. I'm gonna have to change my name to IE. I also thought it would make me more feminine, so I changed to IE. I went to school, I joined a new school, and they gave me obviously like all new like books in my classes, and you had to like write your name on the front of them. And I couldn't decide if I wanted to be IE or Y, because it was like a big personality choice, you know? Those are 2 different fucking people. Maddie with a Y versus Maddie with an IE. They're not even friends. Like, they don't even fuck with each other. So I was like, well, I need to decide, okay? And so I couldn't decide. And so I just writ it like differently on all of my different class notebooks. And then I got really fucking embarrassed because in one of my classes, the teacher said to me in front of the entire class, you need to decide how you're going to spell your own name because you're writing it differently on your notebooks for the same class. And that humbled me. And so in the heat of the moment, I chose my real name, which was Maddie with a Y. And then I stuck with it until 2020 when I decided randomly I was going to be Madeline. And I'm glad I did, because it's a way nicer name than Maddie, I feel like. I don't know, classier. Like, it's just like prettier. Like, it's definitely prettier. Madeline. I love how self-obsessed this podcast is. I have a microphone and I'm making you guys not only listen to my entire life worth of experiences, but now I'm debating which way my name looks prettier and just making you listen. And the crazy part is like most of the people who listen to this podcast, like maybe they're of school age and you just had a whole day of school. Maybe you are on your way to work. Maybe you're on your way home from work. Maybe you're trying to unwind after a long day of work or school, whatever it is. Maybe being a parent. I don't know. Fuck. Do you think parents watch this podcast? Probably not. They have better things to be doing. But sometimes it does dawn on me. I'm like, guys, like go through your days and then sit down and then I subject you to like, and so then I changed the spelling of my name from Y to IE because like it was prettier and that was like a really challenging time for me. And sometimes that makes me think maybe I should put more effort into these episodes. Maybe I should, prepare something of educational value. Maybe I should read, a book a week like I fucking said I was going to. Maybe I should watch, I don't know, even just some more TV shows to like tell you about them. And yet, I still find a way to fill 40 to 50 minutes per week. Well, I'm complimenting myself there. We all know they're usually like 35 to 40. Aha. Anyway, I never really wrapped up my story time on Zane. Anyway, so he then stitches that video. He says when fine shit comes into the store, so you give her 2 hats. So I stitched his video. No, I didn't. Yes, I did. I stitched his video, and I may have done a couple leaps of joy in said stitch, okay? Which is only natural. Because if you guys saw the video, then you saw the man. And then I go to his profile, I scroll, and like the video underneath the one about the hats is a thirst trap that he filmed in the rain. That he got his friend to film in the rain, of him in the rain. Crazy. But I admire it. The point was, I then clicked the comment section to that video, and one of the top comments is a girl saying, Mads has never been wrong a day in her life. And to that, I say, thank you and God bless. One thing about me is I do have good taste. And personal opinions aside, personal, tastes aside, you can't tell me that I don't have good taste, okay? And it doesn't matter how much I dislike someone that I previously have, said was attractive or said, good things about. If you're hot, you're hot. And you may become ugly to me because I think that you're a piece of shit and I may hate your face and I may be like, I never want to see anything that resembles their face again. Like, oh my God, the fucking worst thing in the world is when you meet someone and there's nothing wrong with them, but like one tiny thing in their face reminds you of like an ex that you don't like and it's just like the person is ruined for you, or like God forbid the same name. Find the name easier to get over because like names look different for me based on who they're attributed to. Like I will literally picture your name different in my head based on if you look a certain way. I don't know if that makes sense, but like the word looks different to me, So I can get over the same name as like an ex or whatever, but then sometimes people like, for example, one of my exes from when I was really young has this really specific thing that they do with their mouth, like when they speak and when they smile. And if I ever see it in another person, you could be my soulmate. I don't care. Not even giving you a second to prove it to me. I'm out. Like I can't do it. I can't do it. Oh, and then conversely, right, I've got people who, the ones that got away, shall we say, and if I see their little expressions, micro character, whatever the fucks, in another person, they could be a bad person, and I will pursue them relentlessly because I'm like, you are my new toy. You're the new version of that thing that I lost. It's like taking a toy from a baby. If they didn't even fucking want the toy, all of a sudden, just because you have it, they're screaming. That's me with human beings. So that's good. It's a good anecdote, isn't it? Makes me seem likable, makes me seem controlled, rational, pleasant, kind. I put so much sugar in this coffee and it's genuinely disgusting and I have a headache. So that's good. On to the next segment of the I didn't really wrap up the whole Zayn huss thing because I've not got much else to say on the matter other than thank you for validating my taste. And I have 2 hats now that I didn't have before. So great day for me. I've been on my phone this morning. I was at that TikTok. I posted a random Instagram post, which I usually don't like posting on Instagram. And then at 10 a.m. this morning, I was taking selfies and I thought the world needs to see this immediately right now. Hit post, slammed the post button. Why? Dunno. 10 a.m. is the worst time to post. Horrible time. The UK's falling asleep. America's at work. New York's at work, which is also America. So that's good. Like, Europe is asleep. America's fucking busy. And I'm posting on Instagram. And then I'm like, why did no one like my Instagram post? I don't know, babe. Maybe get a fucking job. Like, you know what I mean? I'm really self-aware today. Like, some days I'm so involved in my own problems that they're real to me. And I'm like, no one liked my Instagram post. And like, I'll stress about that. And I'll be like, am I getting ugly? Or am I getting, I don't know, am I being annoying on the internet? Should I shut the fuck up? Should I stop posting pictures of myself? Should I go get a real job, contribute to society in more ways than I currently do? Some days it's like, God, this is hard. And then other days like today, it's almost like an out-of-body experience. Like I'm looking at myself and I'm like, this is what we're worried about, queen? And on those days I have little empathy indeed. You know what my friend told me recently, which has rocked my world, absolutely fucked it, shattered it, okay? So every time, whenever I'm with my best friend, we talk about abhorrent things 24/7 in public, wherever the fuck we are, right? We discuss things we should not discuss in public, okay? And obviously, we try and whisper. And every time I try and whisper, she starts laughing and she's like, shh, you're being so loud. And it got me so insecure because I fucking hate when people tell me that I'm loud because I don't think I'm ever loud. So if someone's like, shh, I'm like, oh my God. For me, the fear of not having volume control in public spaces is second to fucking none. Like, it is so scary to me, that concept, like, because I hate when other people scream. Like, why are you screaming? There is never a good excuse to be yelling in public when you're talking to one person and that person's in front of you. Like, shut the fuck up. And so when someone tells me, like, shh, and I didn't know I was being loud, I'm gonna go and sit in a corner for, like, at least 5 days. Think about what I'd done. But this friend of mine, she always, whenever we whisper, because it's always about things that, like, no one can hear. So we're, like, trying to be really, really careful. And she always tells me, shh, like, you're being loud. And it got to the point where I had to address it with her. And I was like, please, what is this? Like, I'm not being loud. Like, I'm whispering as quietly as you are. Like, am I deaf? Am I deaf? Like, tell me, because this is a big problem for me. She was like, no, like, you are whispering, but you have this voice that is like, sometimes when people speak, she explained it like, there's like surround sound when people speak. Like it's almost like someone speaks and there's like layers of noise and it's like not crispy, clear audio. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I mean. I don't know how else to explain this, but it's like some people's voices just aren't that clear. She was like, when you whisper, you are at a low volume, but everything you say is so crispy and clear. It's like they can just still hear you. Like, and they can hear everything you're saying. So it's like, even if you whisper like this, they know what you're saying. Like, and I was like, oh my God. And I have been spiraling ever since she told me that, because what the fuck? And now I'm like so aware of it. I'm like, it's like there's only one noise when I speak. Like there is one consistent vibrational noise. And when other people speak sometimes, it's like there's maybe 3 or 4. Do I make sense? Am I making sense? Let me know. Because I know what I mean. I'm scared that you won't. But I took it as a compliment. Well, I took it as a lesson and a compliment. 1, never whisper in public. Just give up on that one. And number 2, I should have good podcast audio. But I don't feel like I do. And then I listen to other people's podcasts and I'm like, you sound like a radio show host. Like you sound crispy as fuck. And it's like an even level of volume throughout the whole podcast. And like I said at the beginning of this podcast, or did I say this on this podcast? Or did I say this in my head? Either way, I'll reiterate, just in case I didn't say it on this podcast. I had to like revoke the mobile sets from myself. Like last week I was in that office and that's a rocking spinny chair. Okay, that is a rocking chair on wheels. I had to stop sitting in it because I was doing fucking backflips. I was talking to the wall over here. I was literally like, I'm like, can you guys hear me as I'm fucking facing the wall? Because I've spun around on the chair. I'm dizzy. I don't even know where the camera is anymore. I'm dizzy. I've been spinning in circles. What do you mean you can't hear me? What do you mean my audio is bad? So I had to put myself in very much like, this is kind of like a baby chair to me. I can't move very far. This is, again, like I said, wedged within a gooch of my couch. So this is stagnant. I'm stagnant now. I've been put in my baby chair. I'm in my high chair, which is now where I podcast from. What was my point? Oh, yes. So I'm hoping this is going to fix... I also got a new microphone. Check it out. All right. But I'm hoping that this is going to fix some of my audio problems because I'm like consistent levels with the microphone. If it doesn't sound really good, I'm going to fucking scream. Maybe I need the microphone even closer to my mouth. But then it's like we're kissing. So I don't know. Okay, on to the next topic. I've recently indulged in the summer I turned pretty. Now, don't immediately switch the podcast off. Okay, I promise I have good points. The summer I turned pretty, I watched season 1 by myself in my bed, okay? And it was good. It was good. I enjoyed it. I didn't consider the production value. I just thought, yeah, it looks semi-decent, like coming of age, teenage goodness. Wattpad vibes, but like not in a terrible way. Like, it was good. And the actor that plays Conrad, I don't mind him. The actor that plays Jeremiah, he needs to change. Listen, I'm not an actress and I don't mean to shade him at all. I would like if he would do less eye contact. I love him though. He's sexy as fuck, great actor, talented, what do I know? Do with less eye contact, in my opinion. Okay? Conrad, on the other hand, in love, I think he's really hot. His character pisses me the fuck off. And here's the thing. Sometimes I have to I watch these TV shows because they are my guilty pleasure, like coming of age teen dramas. I eat them up. I love them. And sometimes I get so invested in these characters that I have to remind myself I'm kind of like a grown woman. Contrary to popular belief, grown woman. And sometimes I have to remember, like, this boy is portraying a 17-year-old boy who is experiencing his first love. And I'm sat there like, it's just fucking unrealistic, isn't it? It's just fucking unreal. Like, no one would really do that, would they? No one would really say that. And why is he smoking weed? And why is he smoking cigarettes? And why is he acting all mysterious and getting drunk at the beach? Like, and why is he sat on the beach at 4 a.m.? Sometimes I wonder, who the fuck writes this? Like, who the fuck wrote this specific line? The specific line in question is, I think it's in episode 1. And when I heard it, I was like, what? It's so funny. It's Taylor, the main character's best friend. They're like packing the main character's bag so that can go on her summer vacation. Belly is trying on in the mirror or like holding up a swimsuit. And it's like a Speedo. And her best friend Taylor is watching her. And she's like, Belly, please tell me you're not going to pack that. And Belly's like, why? Like, I'm going to get a new one when I get there anyway. Like, I wear this kind of stuff every summer. And Taylor goes, you need to wear something that shows off your new boobs. Your brand new boobs. Because obviously these are girls. The whole premise of the show is like, she hit puberty over the winter. Now it's summer. She's going to see the boy that she fancies for the first time in a year. And she looks different. She got pretty. Okay? This is the first summer of her life where she is a pretty girl, quote unquote, okay? And it made me chuckle because I was like, you know what? It's a great point. Like, do I remember the summer that I like turned pretty? No, because I was fucking born this way, bitch. But do I remember the summer that I became like appealing to my peers in that way? Because it's a thing, like I think every girl knows that there's a certain point in your youth where you are suddenly perceived differently. And like the guy friends, I was talking about this with my friend, like the guy friends that you've maybe had your whole life or like for a long time, suddenly they're doing the same things they've always done. Like in the show, Belly's crush like ruffles her hair like this when he first sees her. And that's probably something he's always done to her, like ruffles her hair like a kid. But you know when it suddenly is different, like you know they've done the exact same thing to you, but this time it's different. And it got me thinking, and I like went on a whole spiral about like how weird those years of your life are. First of all, the fact that growing is normal to you for the first, 18 years of your life is so wild. Once you stop growing, I mean, I stopped growing at like fucking 12, like not even kidding, but I was changing, like my face was changing like every other week, like I was always looking different. My tits weren't really growing, but they were doing something. And like my body was changing, okay? To put it in the most disgusting way I could possibly think, my body was changing. I was going through puberty, the throes of puberty, okay? And that was normal to me. Like I was a child who was growing, and then suddenly someone's like, hey, your body's about to change again, and in a weird way this time. And then I'm like, oh, damn, you're right. And I look down one day, I'm peeing, suddenly there's pubes. Okay, now let's dive into that, because that's just popped to mind. What an experience pubes was. Because like I don't remember like having one pubic hair and being like, oh my God, like I got a pubic hair. Like I remember nothing, and then I remember full bush. Does anyone relate to that anecdote? Like I don't remember like starting puberty. Like I just suddenly full bush. Like it was literally like overnight. And I've said this before, and I'm not ashamed, and I will say it again now. I got pubes really early in life. Like, and apparently it's not that abnormal, but I'm pretty certain I had pubes by age 8, latest. Don't know why, because my boobs didn't come in until I was like, and again, like I'm saying that generously, but like, you know what I mean. That didn't happen for me until I was like 15. I didn't get my period till I was like 15, and like I didn't look like I was going through puberty until I was like 15. And even then, nothing really changed. But you start to like change the way like your muscles, like you look more grown up, right? Like you can tell. But like boobs is not the only like thing that changes. But like, yeah, I don't know. There you go. Information on me if you cared. I just don't remember that part of my life like slowly happening. So it's an interesting like thing to think about of like in hindsight how fucking weird that is. Your body is just actively changing and morphing into a new form, and you just like it's so normalized to you. Also, teeth falling out, what the fuck? That's normal to us for like the longest time. Like for your whole childhood, it's like, yeah, my teeth fall out my face sometimes, I don't know. And then I just grow a new one. What? And like it's weird because at that age, I feel like for a lot of girls, your biggest concern is when your period's gonna come. Like before you get your first period, it's like there's a very anxious few years where it's like, okay, any second now I'm just gonna start bleeding, and I don't know what I'm gonna be wearing, and I don't know where I'm gonna be, and I don't know how it's gonna feel or look. I just know like I'm just waiting for this thing to happen to me, this god awful thing. For me personally, I didn't swim for like 2 years prior to getting my first period because I was like, I can't tell. Like I know I'm overdue, but I don't know when it's gonna happen. And thus I shall not enter a body of water until I know. Anyway, what a strange and obscure time of life. But the reason it made me like giggle, I was like, who the fuck wrote that? Who the fuck sat at their computer and was scripting out a teenage girl character and thought, I'm gonna get her best friend to tell her that she's got brand new boobs that she ought to show off? Because your boobs aren't something you get for your birthday. Like you don't get given that. They come slowly, they come gradually, and then they come all at once, you know? Like, I feel like with boobs, it's like, and again, this is disgusting and probably not something I need to ever discuss on a podcast, but it's like, I feel like you know that they're starting to grow because the motherfucker's hurt. And then maybe they grow, maybe they don't, but it's like, you know that something is happening and you get very excited. And then they do it. Like, they do the boob thing where like you go to sleep one night with a fucking A cup tit. You wake up the next morning, C cups. And it does happen that fast for a lot of people. For me, it happened overnight. 1 minute A cup, next minute double D. So that was exciting for me. Overwhelming, exciting, you know. Those parts of your life are way too normal to you. And it feels like forever when it's happening. I would genuinely bet money on the fact that no teenage girl has ever been cognizant enough of the phase of life that they're in to have the capacity to say to their friend, show off your brand new boobs. So I was like, what man wrote this line? And why? That's disgusting. Show off your brand new boobs. Hello. They don't know they're brand new. They got them last night, yes, but they think they've had them for 3 years because one day when you're 15 is approximately 7 years to an adult. You know what I mean? I couldn't figure out for a while why that line was like stuck in my head. Brand new boobs. I was like, why did it make me uncomfortable? Did it like shock me? And I was like, no, it's inaccurate. No one says that. If you said that, if you would say that, let me know, because I'm curious, but like, maybe I was just a weird teenager. I don't know. So my point was, I watched The Summer I Turned Pretty season 1, loved it. I'm on season 2 now, loving it. I'll get back to you next week on my thoughts. However, it's one of those shows where I genuinely like thought it was good. I was like, the storyline's good, the characters, it's like well casted. I like that they give equal attention to the relationships between the adults as the children. I think that's nice. I think it's nice because it makes me excited to grow up and it doesn't feel like I'm leaving something behind with every day that I get older. Like most of the TV shows I consume are around people my age, maybe a little bit younger. Never really older, because I watch unserious television. And then the rest of the time I spend on my phone, which is everyone is my age or younger, pretty much. And so I feel like a lot of TV, the adults are background characters. They're like these irrelevant parents that don't get what's going on and like they don't have their own storyline. I like when they give the adults a storyline, especially a meaningful one, which they did in The Summer I Turned Pretty, which is nice. Because even though I'm closer in age to the kids in the show than the parents, it's just like, it makes me feel like I'm still moving towards something just as interesting in the same universe as what I'm interested in now. If that makes sense. Because I feel like there's a lot of subtle messaging around aging. There's the obvious stuff like, you know, loss of sex appeal, loss of relevance, loss of life, whatever, that is attributed to like older people by younger people, which is really weird. Because I've actually never heard anyone say, yeah, life got worse as I aged. I've never heard anyone 40 say, I would love to be 22 again. Other than for the fact of like, I would love to be 22 again to go out and drink and not have a hangover. And I would love to be 22 again to fucking look 22 again and, you know, be stupid and have fun. Other than those small facets of life, I've never heard anyone that's above the age of 40 say, yeah, I just wish I could be, you know, that lesser version of myself again. Like, I wish my life was, significantly less developed. I wish I was a less cognizant, less developed, smaller version of myself. I wish, I wish I didn't know what I know now. I mean, maybe they say that, but you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like there's a lot of messaging in, like, the media I consume where it's just almost, like, subliminal. Like, no one is telling me adults are irrelevant, no one cares about them, and they don't have an interesting life, but it's in all the shows I watch. Like, the adults are like, they get their eyes rolled at, and the kids lie to them, and the parents never catch on, and like their lives just aren't followed in the same way, because that's not what the show's about. It makes sense, but I just feel like sometimes it's nice to just like have the opposite of that. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent. One other thing I like about the show is that Jeremiah, one of the brothers, who actually ends up, spoiler alert, he gets with Belly, the main character, which is crazy because she wants his brother. What a queen. She's valid, I say. Her behavior is valid, but when I saw him come on my screen, I thought, well, that's a gay man. And well, there's nothing wrong with that. I said, I'm a modern woman. I'm kidding, sorry. That's a gay man. That's a twink. Love the twinks. That's one of them. That's what I said. And then next thing you know, he's in love with Belly. And I was like, oh, wait. So like, is this just like a strange casting? Like, because he's very clearly feminine, this character. Like this actor. I was like, you don't see that in TV much. Casting like a very, very feminine looking boy to be in love with a girl. So like, I don't know. That's an interesting casting choice. And then they did one of my favorite things that TV's ever done. And they showed Jeremiah get with a boy. They went to some party and Jeremiah's like getting with a guy on a couch. And then at another point in the series, he mentions that he had, I don't know, some kind of fling with a guy, or I don't know. Can't remember. But why I like that so much is usually when people write in gay characters or bisexual characters, that is their character. I've never seen in TV before, and to be fair, I don't consume that much television, but I've not seen much of, if any, male characters that are bisexual, that it's never explicitly mentioned, only shown in snippets. This is a fully functioning side of him. He likes boys as well, but his character is pursuing this girl who's the main character, so that's his storyline with her. It's never just a normal part of the TV show. Do you know what I mean? And I liked it. I was like, oh, I see what they've done there. I see what they've done there. And I think it's really healthy, obviously, to have just like, okay, hot take. I think it's really healthy to have accurate representation of people in media. Get a life, get off the microphone. But that's my point, is it was nice to see. It was refreshing, especially in TV that's geared towards the younger generations. Because I think the most powerful messaging, I mean, again, hot take, the most powerful messaging is subliminal. I'm driving myself up a wall today. But obviously, I think the most powerful messaging can be just subliminal. It's just what you see. Like, it's just what's normalized. And that helps normalize that. And I hope to see more of that in TV. Because I love that shit. I love it. And I also like that there's never any other plot line around the fact that he's bisexual too. Like, you don't see him speak about it with his mum. You don't see him speak about the way never. You just see him get with a boy at a party. And then you hear him mention that he had like an ex-situationship with a guy. And that's it. Anyway, so I've been watching that. My original fucking point, okay? I watched season 1, loved it. Then I tell my friend, you need to watch this TV show with me. I've been really enjoying it. So we sit down and we're eating pizza and I put on season 1, episode 1, Summer I Turned Pretty. And as I'm watching it with her, I'm thinking, I don't remember it sounding like this. I don't remember it being on the verge of cringe. Like, I don't remember that it's this angsty. I didn't remember that he was sat by the pool smoking a cigarette and Belly freaked out because it's a cigarette. Yeah, I seem to have just forgotten that scene. And then I see this trend on TikTok going around. It's not a trend, actually. It's probably no one's fucking seen it. Sometimes I think things are a trend and it's like, that video has like 20,000 views, babe. You just saw it. Did you see the new trend? No, that's your algorithm. And it's unfortunately incredibly niche. Anyway, it was this thing and I'm just gonna play it for you. So I got a video on my For You page and it was like how your music starts sounding when it's not only you listening to it, and they use that audio, and I was like, that's the realest shit I've ever fucking heard in my life, because I do bump the Lumineers day in and day out, and I do that shit in private. Passenger, love him. Most of his songs, completely fine for communal listening. A few of them, I have to turn it off. Like, I love Passenger. You guys know how I feel about that man. There's a few songs, however, that I'm like, sorry, this is fucking embarrassing. Like, let me turn this shit off. Like, there's this one, he's like singing about the internet and how he mentions Gangnam Style will still get more views, and that every time that line comes on, I'm like, fuck. I'm trying to make my date think I'm fucking cool, and like, yeah, like this is a British artist, like I'm his biggest fan, like I show you some of his songs, you know, maybe I put on like his Hotel California cover, I'm like, yeah, like he's cool, like gorgeous voice, you know, not too indie but still cool, and then it skips to Gangnam Style will still get more views. Anyway, and then I have to take my top off to distract them. I have to take my top off every time. So anyway, that was the feeling that was evoked from my soul when I was showing my friend The Summer I Turned Pretty, because I spoke so highly of it. I was like, you're gonna love it, like such good, like not bad television, but it's like, it's not stressful to watch. Like, we're not gonna sit down and watch Grey's Anatomy, you know? Coming of age teen drama, it's perfect. So we sit down and we watch it, and I was like, hey, this is not the same. This is not the one I watched. There must be two of them. I was like, yeah, I must have fallen asleep. I must have fallen asleep during the first couple episodes, and like, I don't remember this stuff. This is not what I was talking about. That is exactly what the fuck I was talking about. That is everything I was talking about. I'm gonna go rewatch it the second you leave my house. Yep. That's not me saying I'm any less of a fan of the show. I can't wait to go to bed tonight, because my nighttime is the time I watch The Summer I Turned Pretty. I can get into bed, I tuck myself in, I write in my journal, and then I hit play on The Summer I Turned Pretty, and it is such a good TV show that I'm not falling asleep with it on. The second I start to feel myself go night-night, I press pause, I close my laptop screen because I'm not missing a second. I refuse to miss a second of this. What's Conrad gonna do next? What's he gonna do next? I love his face. How old is he? We should check before this podcast episode goes out, okay? Conrad Fisher, played by Christopher Briney, age 26. Sometimes I hate learning who the actors are sometimes, because I genuinely get so invested and I like to lie to myself that it's real. Like, I remember one time, I think that Disney stars, please one of you, like, tell me if you know what I'm talking about, because I don't think I'm about to make any sense. I think Disney stars, like when they're young, are coached to pretend to be more like their on-screen persona in interviews. Okay, actually, that's not crazy to say. That's probably true, right? When I was obsessed with Girl Meets World, I was young, obviously, and I really needed to believe, deep within my soul, I needed to believe, that Sabrina Carpenter was Maya Hart, okay? I needed to believe that she and Rowan Blanchard were truly best friends. I wanted to believe they actually lived in that house in New York. I wanted to believe that Sabrina Carpenter was truly this, like, tortured, fatherless figure. I wanted to believe that Rowan Blanchard was really Riley Matthews, okay? I wanted to believe that she was really this innocent, happy-go-lucky little child. And then I watched an interview one day, and I remember them saying, like, are you guys like your characters in real life? And I think that they were told, like, say yes. Like, I think that you are supposed to say yes. I need to find out. But anyway, and I remember when they were really young doing interviews, they would say yes, and at some point it switched, because I've seen all their interviews that they've ever done ever. At some point their answer changed to being like, no, we're not, I think Maya's like this super, they got PR trained, okay? Maya's this super, edgy character. I like to think I'm a little bit more restrained. I remember that broke my heart. To have to come to terms with the fact that my fictional characters weren't real, that the actors of my fictional characters did not embody their characters, that was devastating to me as a child. Like, I wanted them to lie. Like, I don't care if it's a lie. Tell me a lie. Tell me a pretty lie, or I'm gonna fucking kill myself. Seriously, though, tell me a lie. And the fact that this man, whose name I've already forgotten, isn't dating Belly, why not? Can't you guys do, like, a PR thing? You know what I mean? I just eat it up. Like, I am the most gullible audience. I'm exactly the kind of person watching their shows. It's me. I'm the target audience. I am. I will buy into that storyline day and night, and I won't look for any objecting evidence to tell me that it's not real. None. He could be married, and I will take a crumb if he says in an interview that Belly and him are super good best friends. I'll take it. You know what I mean? I just like to believe. Seeing is believing for me, and I like to believe. Do you guys want to know something crazy? Stop listening if you're under the age of 7, which... God forbid anyone here is under the age of 7, but I just felt the need to say that just in case, okay? I remember the age I found out that the tooth fairy wasn't real. Oh my god, that feels like a crime to say. Because I found my fucking teeth in my mum's bathroom. And then me and my sister cornered our mother. We were really young. We cornered her and we were like, so we know about the tooth fairy, okay? You have to tell us about Santa. Like, what about him? Is he real? And my mum tells us that she was like, you're only asking about Santa? Like, what about the Easter Bunny? And me and my sister apparently looked at her like she had 7 heads and were like, no, like, we know the Easter Bunny is real. Like, don't be stupid. What about Santa Claus? And my mum was like, right. Got it. She's like, Santa's real. We were like, phew. Whew. That was scary. And I believed in Santa for way too fucking long. Like, way too long. Like, I still kind of do. And I don't say that in a jokey way. Like, okay, realistically, I know the facts. But there's something in me that's like, okay, he's not gonna come to you if you don't believe in him. Like, yeah, okay, I'm sure he doesn't fucking visit everyone because no one believes in it. I'm sure there's that loophole, yes. I'm sure my mum does put most of the presents under the tree. And probably because she doesn't believe in Santa, but what if my mum believed in Santa and I believed in Santa and she didn't buy me any presents? Like, what? Maybe then he would be safe to visit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Just a thought. I believed in him for a long time. And again, like I said, still kind of do. Like, it's just not confirmed to me that it's definitely fake. Because obviously there's the tale of Santa Claus, Saint Nicholas, which I think is like a kind of sordid tale. Because there was a real person, but I don't remember any of the information. That could be a whole... I would Google it, but my Wi-Fi's cut out. So the Saint Nick mystery will live to see another day, and I will continue to believe that there really still is Santa Claus. My plans for the rest of the day are very exciting. It's 3:02 in the afternoon, and I have plans with myself because I'm filming this on the day before Valentine's Day. One thing about me is I'm really, really stupid, and I thought today was Valentine's Day. And so naturally, where am I going? To get a massage for myself because it's Valentine's Day, and I deserve to be treated by someone, me. I don't really believe in Valentine's Day. In the UK, it's just like not such a big thing. Like, it's kind of a big thing in America, which is kind of fun. I don't really remember anyone caring that much about it in the UK. Like, I don't remember at school that they would make us like do anything. Like, maybe in like primary school, they would make you like cut out a pink heart out of like thick cardboardy paper. But in America, like, I watch American family vloggers as if they are like kryptonite to the poison of every other facet of my life. Like, if you took away my Mormon family vloggers, I would just fucking cease to exist. And so, in all their vlogs, I know about the ins and outs of American school, life, so on and so forth. And they take Valentine's Day very seriously over here. But it's not, I don't know if my school was just boring, but I feel like no one really gives that much fuck in the UK. Like, the brands, the companies obviously try and jump on because it's like a capitalism, like, orgy. And they sell the nice stuff in the shops, but like, if I was dating an American man in America and he didn't do anything for me for Valentine's Day, I'd be like, what the fuck? If I was dating a British guy in the UK or in America or anywhere and he ignored Valentine's Day, I'd be like, I don't care. Like, no one really gives a fuck. I thought today was Valentine's Day, so I'm gonna go get a massage by myself, naturally. Tomorrow is fucking Valentine's Day. I'm stupid. Stupid. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day. I have no plans because I thought it was today. So I'm celebrating a day early. Which is really smart because things were probably cheaper and not as booked up. So anyway, that's my plans. I'm going at 5-ish. It's 3-ish right now. So what will I do in the meantime? Upload this footage. Yeah, no one cares. I'm signing off now. I love you guys so much. I'm going to enjoy my massage. I'll be thinking of you whilst I get my back rubbed. I'll see you guys same time, same place next week because I'll be in this setup again because I fucking love it. Let me know what you think about the audio. Let me know what you think about the angle. Let me know what you think about the general vibe of this location. What's your favorite? We've done office, we've done car, we've done that corner of this room, we've done my bedroom. Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in to this week's podcast episode. I hope you have a good day. I hope you have a good week. I love you. Bye. Mwah. Oh, that's the first kiss on the new microphone. Okay, bye. Ooh, it smells good. Ooh. Ooh, it smells like a Sharpie kinda, or like new shoes. Interesting. Okay, love you. Bye.